What's going on, guys? I am Jokes Aside Starcraft, and this is game number 4 of SPR versus Vietnam. A little bit of a nation v clan war going on. If I bring up the players, we do have OopsXiliTol. I'm just going to call him Oops. It's that much easier. Spawning as the blue Protoss on ESL Metalopolis. So these close spawns were not possible. Versus RsSPR, the red Zerg, in this 9 o'clock position. They are close by air, so we may see a little bit of Phoenix, a little bit of Void Ray play. Who knows? We do have that pylon on the low ground from Oops. A little bit of a strange placement. I haven't seen that much. This Overlord will scout, but we do have Oops with that perfectly timed probe just popping out, and that Overlord will now just head its way over that Nexus, seeing what it can see. We did actually struggle trying to get this game loaded. We tried Metalopolis, the normal laddering one, but we spawned in close positions. We had to restart a couple of times, and then after all of that, we still had Oops scouting that close positions. Maybe a little bit of habit from the ladder, but that was not possible. We do have, it looks like, Nexus first from Oops. Very, very gutsy build. He does throw it down. This Overlord, though, does RS see it? He does see, yes he does. He does see Nexus first, so be interesting to see how he reacts. That is very, very crazy on a map like this. This expansion is wide open to a lot of attacks, and we do have BAM, the expansion taken at the usual third for ASPR. That pylon is preventing him from taking his natural. Now this is game 4. We did have RsSPR taking down No Limit Lupus in game number 3 in a ZVZ, as links pop to deny this probe any more annoyance, and then they'll probably head on to that pylon to take that down. If we look at what's going on, we do have Oops throwing down that gateway. There is a cannon going down behind it, just leaving this little bit of a choke in here, but there is still a lot of room back here for lings and things like that to move. This Overlord now trying to make its way over before that cannon gets up and becomes very, very dangerous. We do have a rather large probe transfer as well, as that expansion is up before the Zergs. But we do have RS taking a third. May seem very, very brave, but with that expand first, like the Nexus first build, Oops will not be dangerous for quite a while. May turn my sound fractionally down. Lings now sort of will be poking at the front. Yeah, so with Protoss sort of confined, unable to attack for a little while, RS is free to expand and drone up for a little while before needing to have that army. We do have second gas, and just the second gas being taken, that second gateway going down as well. That Cyber is down, and Warp Gate on its way. We do have the third, or the natural, up for RS. Speed is on the way, and it looks like both players are macroing up. We do have the 2 gateways, bringing the total to 3 now on the way. Warp Gate still coming, and a Stalker being Chrono boosted out. He may be actually trapping this Stalker in here. There may be a little gap here to get out. I'm not 100% sure on the pathing, whether it will be allowed to actually escape from there. But still, yes, he will. Actually, there is a spot for it, but actually that is a perfectly placed Stalker. This little choke for Zerglings is ridiculously tiny. And we do have a relatively fast lair coming up for RS, as that all 3 expansions are now up and beginning mining for him. We do have the Roach Warren going down as well, and an evolution chamber. We do have now a Twilight Council and a pylon. Looks like we might be seeing some Blink Stalker play. I assume that's what we're going to see from Oops. 2-base Blink Stalker play can be very, very strong, especially against roaches, and in the right amount of numbers can be almost impossible to deal with also the right micro. That Blink Stalker micro is the rather infamous blink the front stalkers back, the ones that are taking damage, so that the stalkers seem to live forever. Also, while right, we do have pings on the map. I'm not quite sure what they were for. We do have a pylon going down here for Oops, a little bit of a proxy. But yeah, those blink stalkers at the front blink to the back. Not only do they stop taking damage, but also they start to regenerate some of their shields and have almost infinite life. More and more stalkers just sort of moving around in little groups of 3. We do have more gateways going down, bringing the total up to 5, and the Robo Bay as well. Probably Immortals, just in case he saw roaches, a number of roaches out right now. We have 5 more on the way, plus Burrow. Whereas Blink has just finished up for Oops. 2 more Stalkers on the way, plus Protoss Weapons level 1 is just about to finish. We do have a few Stalkers moving out as I speak. They will be spotted by this Zergling, though. He will get picked off, though. Poor little fella, just doing his job. More and more Stalkers are being warped in and moving sort of around the map, heading over to this proxy pylon. There's another proxy pylon placed right down here. It is not scouted by SPR, but once these stalkers sort of get here, the warp in becomes very, very hard to deal with, as it has finished up, and these stalkers will move in, doing a lot of damage to these roaches at the front. They do have a better concave, but once again this blink micro is very, very hard to deal with. Roaches forced to back away and burrowing now. They do regenerate very, very quickly. Do we see an observer? We do have an observer on the way. He is still a little while away from being out there. He is just popping now, though. We do also have this third being taken with the robotics bay going down. We do have 10 roaches on the way, plus missile attacks level 1, plus Glio reconstitution just finishing up, plus 2 spore crawlers, maybe to try and catch that observer, should it be a little bit overzealous in its positioning. There is 1 here and 1 here. We do have roaches moving out in a vast number at the moment. It looks like, at a guess, 24 plus 3 is 27 roaches, plus more and more streaming in. Roaches doing a little bit of damage to that forward, trying to catch these stalkers in a bad position, moving closer and closer into them, pick off a couple before they blink back. The back ones are severely damaged, but once again this blink micro is rather stunning from Oops. A lot of these stalkers are perfectly fine. A few sickly beings are hanging around at the front now, but yeah, great display of exactly what blink micro is by Oops, who does still have these 2 proxy pylons in place, now scouted by RS. He will take down one of them. Whether he sees this second one or not is a rather big issue. But that first proxy does fall. We also see Colossus in production. We see weapons level 2 on the way. And we also have ventral sacs, so we may see some drops. We have tunneling claws and pneumatized carapace. So yeah, these overlords gathering, we may see a rather big doom drop of roaches coming at some point. That 4th base is up, no drones at it yet, but the 3rd is also up for Oops, with a little probe here doing nothing, and it is walled off as well. This has also become a rather popular strategy for Protoss and Terran alike, walling off this 3rd, making it very, very difficult. We do have a burrowed Zergling at the normal 4th, and it looks like Oops will be trying to take the gold. Stalkers and the Mortal and the now Colossus moving in to try and defend it. This drone will see the gold going up though. Interesting to see how he tries to defend it. Maybe an attack on the main, something like that. Excuse me, but with the with two more Colossus popping out and Thermal Lance on the way, attack level 2 just about to finish. The possibility of a counterattack from Protoss is really high, and also looks very, very deadly. We do have these 4 Overlords carrying 16 Roaches with them, heading over to the main of Oops. He will not scout it, but as he moves in to the 4th of RS, this could do a lot of damage. He actually has nothing there. 5 Roaches as well down the bottom, and another swelling of Roaches moving in from the top. He is spotted very, very early, and the drones are pulled off. These Roaches may snipe the Nexus though, which could be a big loss. More Roaches being dropped at this gold, trying to pick off this Nexus as well, and even more Roaches moving into the natural of Oops. 3 front-pronged attack from RS, doing very, very well. That Nexus at the main does go down, but Stalkers and Colossus cornering these Roaches in. He may just try and do a lot of damage to the probes, or try and go for that Nexus. It looks like burrowing, but the Observer is there, taking a lot of damage on these Roaches, and falling quite a way behind in supply. These Stalkers trying to pick up these Overlords with retreating Roaches in them. He does pick off one which is full of Roaches. That is a big pill to swallow, and it looks like a lot of damage was done to the infrastructure, but there were not that many minerals left at these patches. Still actually quite a few, but looks like with a lot of Roaches popping, they need to, because this is a huge army for Oops, and all those probes can just transfer to the gold, making them even more efficient. As the Protoss army gathers strength, gathers momentum, and maybe pushing in for a little bit of a death push. We do have Zerg missile attacks level 2 cancelled, and Protoss weapons level 3 on the way. More and more Roaches trying to come out, a Spire going down as well. These Roaches taking a lot of damage from this Colossus and these Stalkers. Force fields going down everywhere, cutting off where the units can come from, and I think that may be all she wrote for RS with the GG, and there it is. Really, really well played from Oops. Blink Stalkers into heavy Colossus Stalker mix. Very, very hard to deal with. There was a very nice drop from RS, but all in all, just not enough. That does bring the series to 2-2. And we will move on to game number 5, so please do stick with us. See you at game 5.